Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Sharp Lines and Stacking Dimes. This is Coach's Call, college football pick'em, week 12. Sitting here with your man DonnieBets in Tennessee and me. Tristan's taking a break. He has got some 23 unit plays in NFL and college basketball, all kinds of
Still getting
stuff.
his feelings hurt.
While he's not here, we can talk some shit about him. Uh,
Oh yeah,
but yeah, we're gonna go through. Donnie, to be honest with you, looking at this slate, it doesn't look like a very big week. Not a lot going on as far as stuff that I would want to watch as just a
right.
fan, But there's still some important games out there. I'm going to start with one. I'm going to say the Tennessee South Carolina one to last because
Okay.
the importance of that. I think we're going to be on the same page there. But let's start with a big one. Number 4, TCU going to Baylor. This is an 11 o'clock game. It's an early game. TCU favored by 3. They're just off a big win at Texas. Game day. They had 27. Texas had 27 recruits. Ark Manning was there. They spent over $2.5 million for all those recruits. They had parents' night, game day, the whole 9 yards, and Texas shit the bed, and TCU beat them pretty
They
soundly.
did.
But now they're going to Baylor -3, man. Now, I don't like it. It smells like my ex-girlfriend. It's not a the -3 that early. I don't like. I have been, and here's my problem. I've been fading TCU all year fading and losing because I never thought Big 12 was that strong. They were going to lose eventually, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is the last shot at it. Do they lose to Baylor or do they cover? What do you think, Don?
I think the problem is like Baylor's coming off that big loss. So is this a bounce back game for them? Because I mean they got just routed by Kansas State 31-3 and never looked good. The problem was they got behind and they tried to play fourth down madness shit. And
Analytic shit, yeah.
yeah, all right, just stop being stupid. It's the second quarter. Like you're down 14 to nothing. Don't be dumb.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good chance for them to bounce back. What I'm worried about, though, is do they get down and realize, hey, we're 6-4. Like, we're probably going to like the Outback shit bowl, and they kind of give up. So I think that's why the line is so scary because it is 3. But if I had to take somebody, I'm taking TCU till they prove me wrong. But it could easily be a situation where Baylor does come out and just run up the score pretty quick. So
Right.
I don't see it against TCU. TCU's got a good defense, so I think it stays close.
I'm going to throw another one at you. I know earlier this year when TCU played SMU, I told you the Gucci Bowl is a big rival. Nobody seems to realize TCU SMU. It is a big rival because they're like 20 minutes apart and they're rich. A lot of money in that fan base. But Russell, who does our Jaded Cowboy podcast, and he's on here every now and then, he told us that this is a huge rivalry game.
Oh yeah,
The Baptist versus the Methodist. It's a big
yeah.
it's a big rivalry game. I didn't know that because DC's never meant anything to me, and Baylor has meant even less to me. But so I had to get confirmation from a couple other ones at a church I used to go to. Yeah, people I used to go to church. The pastor there went to Baylor, and he said this is huge. So that's kind of bothersome to me because in a rivalry game, you never know what can happen. But I'm with you, Don. I think I'm going to take TCU. I'm going to ride the train finally, and I don't know, see what happens. But TCU wins out, they're in, man, and they're sitting over 4 in the polls right now. So, and also the line's the total's kind of high on that. But yeah, I like TCU. Georgia's going to Kentucky. Number 1, Georgia going to Kentucky. Georgia -22.5. That's a day game. What do you think about that spread?
It's Georgia. That is a team that can put it on you quick. 22.5 seems like a ton, but Georgia's Georgia. Like I think they could run up anybody if you're not careful. Kentucky coming off the beating from Vanderbilt, and that's got to be a stinger right there.
That's yeah. I don't know if you recover from
I,
something like that.
48 and a half, man, that's half the points. I still think Georgia takes that line pretty easily. I think Georgia probably scores 40 points and Kentucky scores about 14. So I think 22 and a half is pretty safe. And that's just because Kentucky's used to playing teams that don't have just like an amazing defense, like Vanderbilt last week and South Carolina,
Yeah.
stuff like Tennessee. Yeah. This is a whole different team.
I don't think they
Not
need
enough points.
I don't think they need style points. I don't think they need to run it up like the team we're going to talk about here in a little
I
bit.
can't hear you.
I don't think they're going to run it up. Can you hear me? Oh,
Hmm.
can you hear me?
I don't think anything happened. Let's see. Let me close this down.
I can hear you still. Uh, so I don't think Georgia is like the team we're fixing to talk about. They're already in the playoffs. All they have to do is win out. They've got the SEC championship coming up in Atlanta. Uh, I don't know. It's a stay away game for me, but if I do end up betting it, it's a 2:30 game in Kentucky. Why the hell not? I think 22. That's four scores. Give me Kentucky maybe in a backdoor cover. No way they're going to win. I'm not going to go up to that's something like that. But if they win by 20, that's fine. I'll take 22 points because it's almost half the total. So give me Kentucky 22 and a half plus 22 and a half. Ole Miss, this one's, dude. This one's Arkansas. You're going to go to Arkansas, and the most you're going to get is 2.5 to 3 points. Doesn't matter who you are nowadays. LSU went over
Yeah.
them last week. They didn't cover 3.5, but they won. I think we had them both on the money line and the spread, so we covered one of them. But Ole Miss, number 14 in the country, going with a coach that just got offered a contract extension, Lane Kiffin, minus 2.5 at Arkansas. What do you think about that one?
I like Ole Miss here. I think they've been playing well. I know Arkansas is at home, but with Ole Miss coming off the Alabama stuff, I still think Ole Miss covers this. I don't think Arkansas is that good of a team. I think they're decent, but they've had an off year, just like Texas A&M and some other teams. So I think Ole Miss covers this, especially since it's only 2.5 and it's not a game that's in a primetime area.
Yeah, I think this is one of the. I haven't seen Lane Kiffin like this at his post game interviews and stuff, as pissed off as he was after the Bama game. He didn't want to hear about the stats or anything like
No.
that. He just said, "Hey, I'm 0-2 against Daddy, and I'm getting fucking sick and tired of it."
Yep.
And I think
Yep.
I think he's gonna take it out on him and come back and put some points. I like Ole Miss big in this one. If I'm be honest with you, I like Ole
Sure.
Miss. I like Ole Miss to roll. I think the total at 64.5 is not safe. I think Kiffin's going to go back and throw the ball a little more and see him run
Yeah.
up and down the sideline. So I even like
I agree.
the over on that too. And then we've got Bedlam. Bedlam, Okie State, number 22 Okie State, going to Oklahoma. The underdog Oklahoma is giving the number 22 team in the nation 7 points at Oklahoma. What do you think? Number one, is Bedlam that big of a fucking deal, Donnie? I mean,
That should tell you something right there. That tells me that the books believe that this game is not going to be close. Like they tell you immediately, hey,
yeah,
I know Oklahoma State 7-3, 22. We don't give a shit. This is the same way that we had with Georgia and Tennessee earlier this
Tennessee.
year. So I expect Oklahoma to cover this and probably cover it pretty easily. And I like the over on this as well. It's only 66. Oklahoma could score 40 on their own. So
Yeah, this is a bad Oklahoma team. This is with
well,
this
it's definitely
league,
not the Oklahoma we're used to.
yeah, with the 4 or 5 star guys that they always have, this is very disappointing. But I'm with you. When I saw this line, first thing that popped in my head was Georgia, Tennessee.
And the money
Everybody,
says it as well. The money's well on Oklahoma and well on the over. So
okay, good. Yeah, let's take the everybody listen up. Might as well take Oklahoma in the over now because the line will probably move. So let's take it. I got two more games I want to talk about. We're going to go to the Pac. And just because you know me, I don't like the ACC. I don't like the Big Ten. I don't like the Pac. I want to keep it all within the SEC. If I could have four SEC teams in the playoffs, I would do it. That is that. That is, but that's just me. Um, we got USC, number 7, USC going to number 16, UCLA. USC is laying 2.5 points to UCLA. If USC wins this, they got a shot at making the playoff. They still got. I mean, there's things that have to happen, but they're
Yeah.
looking from the inside out. I mean, we're talking about rankings and all that, but they're number 6 in some polls, number 5 in others. But yeah, USC minus 2.5 at UCLA. What do you think?
The money's coming in on UCLA. It really is. I mean, it's not an amazing amount, but it's about half of the money
And the total
and
76.5, bro.
less than quarter of the percentage. So a lot of people are saying that, or the sharps are thinking that UCLA is going to win this home game, and especially on the money line. I mean, the money line, they're getting 80% of the bets with only 80% of the money with only 40% of the bets. So yeah, it's a 40-point swing. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to take UCLA, and I take them to win as well.
I like UCLA, dude. I like the way they run the ball too. I mean, if
Yep.
the little bit that I've watched, they can run the ball. They've got it going on. USC, I think the brand is carrying them a little bit here. I like UCLA. We really need UCLA to win. That way, we squash all the maybe a Pac-12 team makes it. We squash all that. So yeah, give me UCLA. I like UCLA plus 2.5, and I like UCLA at the money line. And like you said, I mean, going money line ain't giving you that much more. I mean, it's only plus 105. You're taking it on the money line. So, yeah, I'm with you. UCLA, UCLA all the way, and 76.5. That's a lot of points. So this means a lot in the rankings. I think Josh Heupel knows that, and he's going to coach. He's going to coach up to it. South Carolina, they've shown signs that they're a good ball club. They can put up points. And then they've shown signs that they're horrible. But number 5 goes to South Carolina, and this is a night game in the SEC. And Tennessee is giving 22.5 points now. Number 5 Tennessee giving 22.5 at South Carolina in a night game. Usually, Donnie, I wouldn't even think about it. I wouldn't look at handles. I wouldn't look at bets. Give me an SEC double-digit dog at home all day long at night, right? But
Right.
Tennessee needs to show out here because they're sitting right on the outside at number 5, I believe, in some polls. They're looking on the outside coming in. They're number 5 in all 3 polls: college football poll, AP poll, and a coaches poll. They're number 5. Ohio State, Michigan, one of them is going to lose, and one of them is going to be out.
Yeah.
So Tennessee, I think Tennessee has to show out. I think Tennessee covers the fucking points, Donnie. 22.5. What do you
I'm
think?
with you. If you look at South Carolina's last 4 games, Texas A&M, they barely squeaked by. They lost to Missouri, and God, Missouri's right there near Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
They did beat Vanderbilt, but it was 38-27. Ugh, like you don't want to lose. You don't want to get Vanderbilt that many points. And then they got just raffle stomped by Florida, 38-6.
Yeah.
Tennessee's going to put it on them, and I think South Carolina scores some points. I think they do. I mean, they've been averaging about 25 points a game lately, or their season is 28.6 and giving up 26.2, but they've been in that 25 range for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is Tennessee averages about 40.
Yeah.
So that's why that 66 was really good. But I think Tennessee scores 60 plus, and I think South Carolina scores 20 plus. So I like the over. I like Tennessee to cover, and I'm all about buying this over up just because, like you said, got to run the score up if you want to get those voters come time to get in. So
right. So that's what I was going to say. Tennessee scored 66, and most of it, I think, was in the second half. Or they started at some point in time. Me and you talked about Tennessee just kind of woke up and said, "Hey, boys, let's go ahead and get this shit over with," and they ended up scoring 66 or more. I think
they scored I think 17 in the fourth quarter, but they scored 21 in the third quarter, and that was still when the game was kind of close. I
Yeah.
mean, I say kind of close. It was like 28-17 or something, and then they just turned it on.
Yeah,
So
I think that's what's going to happen here. I've got all the confidence in the world that Heupel's going to do that. I've never been a huge Tennessee fan, but I am just because it's good for football and it's good for our Southeast Conference. So I think they're going to score 66 on their own. I'm with you. I think South Carolina, puts up right around 20 points by themselves. So yeah, I like the 80 to 90 total point range in that game.
yep,
And so that brings me to another the next thing we're talking about is the rankings. I mean, everybody's the same. Now some people have we got USC and LSU sitting at 6 and 7. So you got Georgia, Ohio State, and Michigan. Depending on the poll, Ohio State and Michigan flip flop 2 and 3. We got TCU 4, Tennessee 5, and then 6 and 7 is USC, LSU. Those are flip flopped in a couple of polls, and then 8, 9, and 10 are all the same. Alabama, Clemson, and Utah. There's a lot of shit that can happen that needs to
right.
happen for somebody like LSU to get in, right? The main thing is they beat Georgia in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Good luck, but it's we know one of the two, Ohio State, Michigan, one of those two teams is going to lose,
right.
and if that happens, TCU wins out. It's Georgia, one of the Big Ten schools, TCU and Tennessee, right? I mean, it's
Right.
pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. But we'd have to have some special things. Do you see this ranking any other way, Donnie, or you like it the way it is?
No, I think it's pretty cut and dry at the moment. Like I don't I don't expect TCU to lose. They could, but I don't think even if they lose, it affects Georgia, Tennessee, and the winner of Michigan and Ohio State. I don't expect Tennessee to lose. They've got pretty cupcake left. They do face Vanderbilt, which is their rival, but it's not a big deal this year. Like if you want a game to buy the over on that one. That one might score 100 points.
Right.
Because Vanderbilt can score. I mean, they proved it last week. I think your top three are kind of set in that, and then it's going to be, does TCU lose? If they lose, who sneaks in? The only way LSU sneaks in is if they beat Georgia, and you can't not put Georgia and Tennessee in at that point. But then you would also need like some of the X and ones to lose, because it's going to be hard to put an X and 2 team over North Carolina at X and 1 or USC at X and 1, or even TCU at X and 1. So I don't see LSU making it in. They're like the long shot out of all that. They would need too many factors.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you. I always go to the coaches poll. Being an old coach, I like they just look at things a little bit different. This Ohio State Michigan, I'll tell you what, whoever wins that game, let's just move on into the Heisman watch. Right now they've got Stroud at OSU, Hooker Tennessee, Gore Michigan, May at North Carolina, Williams USC, Bennett Georgia, and Dugan from TCU. Dude, I'm going to tell you this. This is kind of politics. This kind of like the stuff we talk about on Whiskey and Wisdom, political stuff. The winner of Ohio State Michigan, that's the guy that's going to win the Heisman.
Maybe. The big difference is going to be like, how does Dugan play at TCU? Like if he comes out and just throws it on this week and next week and the week after, he's got an outside shot. I mean, the problem is, like, I actually think Michigan beats Ohio State. I've said it all year.
Yeah.
And I don't think Stroud's that impressive. It's hard to give it to Hooker. It really is. I mean, the guy's like 35 or something, like whatever. Like, yeah, he's going to get the points.
Joey B.
But he didn't beat. He had a bad game against Georgia. Like, you got to play your best when the best teams are out there. Now, the good thing is, for all the candidates, this is going to be done before the playoffs. They don't get to see who gets beat by Georgia again.
Right.
Because Georgia can make anybody look bad. I mean, the defense is that good. I think the long shot in this is the, if Michigan wins, does Corum have a big game and sneak in?
He's going to hand the ball off. Ohio State's not going to be able to stop their run game. You know this. We're gonna have a lot of money on props on over rushing, TD stuff like that. I'm with you. Michigan's going to beat Ohio State, and they're going to do it.
And
by
that's the thing.
really
Like
well.
he's still the nation's best running back out there. I mean, by far. So against Rutgers, he had 109 for 20 carries. He's got 16 touchdowns on the year. He's a long shot. He really is. It's Stroud's to lose right now. And Bryce Young just booted himself out. And they're not going to give it to anybody from Georgia, which sucks. But, they're the best team.
That May kid from UNC. They just can't give it to him, can they? I mean, North Carolina.
I'll say this, if they sneak in the playoffs, he gets it. As long as he doesn't, completely bumble his last few games. But
Tulane just scored again, buddy. 14-0.
Nice.
I just think all the voters, I think it's going to be a political thing. I think
you're right. They want to give it to Big Ten if all possible.
Yeah, if all possible, they will. But we'll see. Man, this is a short week. Not a whole lot. There's a few games, worth watching. There's a couple that are, some of these games that we haven't talked about are worth betting, though. So you guys out there that think we're taking a weekend off, we're not. There's some good games out there to bet. The Wake Forest, Syracuse, Stanford, Cal. There's a lot of games out there that we can bet, we can make a lot of money on. And saying that, you really need to go to coachescall.store, hit the menu button, scroll down, come join our Discord. These guys are live right now too. They're betting basketball, NFL, college basketball, NBA. We're on the Tulane game right now. We're fixing to go to the Disney Channel and watch the pro football or whatever the fuck channel it's on, and watch pro football over there.
Amazon channel,
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah, Amazon. The Amazon channel. We got Miami, Clemson also. I got my people showing me Miami, Clemson, Illinois, Michigan. There's some games out there that we're gonna bet and we're gonna make money on. But you got to go follow us on the Discord. It doesn't cost you a thing. Also, go visit our guys at the Hunch ATL. Our buddies over there doing a great job. Go visit them. They help. It'll help you track your bets. Do a little money management over there. But you can test yourself against guys like Donnie and Tony. These guys are winning money. Enter their free pick'em tournament and a chance to win $1,250 in cash. Donnie's won a couple weeks. Tony's won a couple weeks, and they're on their way to win more. Go to the Hunch ATL. Tell them Coach sent you, and tell them you want their money. It's real easy. Just free setup. Go over there. Tell them you want their money, and they'll send it to you, man. The Hunch ATL. Go visit them for all your betting needs, man. Donnie, you got anything else, brother?
No, that's it. I think it's going to be a good week. We had a good week last week. Let's keep it rolling.
All right, man. Well, that's going to be it for week 12 of the Pick'em Show. We will see you. We will see you soon. Again, this is Sharp Lines, Stag and Dimes, Coach's Call, College Football Pick'em Week 12. Good luck to everybody. Hope to see y'all at the window. Adios.